Do you want full control over the basemaps used by your team and clients? Basemaps are a core component of almost every geospatial service. They provide geographic context and serve as the visual background for your own data. In one form or another, basemaps appear in nearly every online map. Many websites and applications rely on a small number of popular basemaps provided by global services such as OpenStreetMap, Google Maps, and others. However, relying on external basemaps creates several risks. If the provider experiences an outage or changes its service, your resources may suddenly be left without a basemap. External basemaps may also be completely unavailable within an isolated corporate network. Another problem is control. The basemap content is managed entirely by the provider, so you cannot decide which objects should be displayed. With raster tiles, you also have no control over the visual appearance of the map. To address these challenges, we created NextGIS GeoServices, a self-hosted solution for configuring and publishing basemaps through a graphical web interface. With NextGIS GeoServices, you can create basemaps using OpenStreetMap data, data hosted in NextGIS Web, external tile services, and pre-rendered tilesets. In this video, we will walk through the main usage scenarios. This is what the NextGIS GeoServices interface looks like immediately after deployment. I sign in as an administrator and open the dashboard. At the moment, this instance is empty. The first thing I want to do is set up an internal OpenStreetMap database. This database will serve as an independent data source for creating basemaps. I open the settings, go to the basemap section, and initialize a new database using a PBF file for the required territory. This could be the entire world, a country, a region, or a particular city. The coverage area is entirely up to you. There are many ways to obtain a PBF file. One of the easiest ways to get a nicely clipped PBF file is to use data.nextgis.com. Select the required territory, choose the PBF format, and submit the order. For this demonstration, I will use data for Estonia. After uploading the PBF file, I submit it for processing. The log shows the deployment progress, and I can now see that the database has been successfully created. Next, I create a new service group. Service groups allow us to organize related services. I will name this group NextGIS Demo. I return to the dashboard where the new group is now visible and create a service inside it. I select Basemap as the service type. I can create as many Basemap services from this database as I need. Each service can have its own geographic extent, zoom level range, set of layers, and visual style. I select the entire territory of Estonia, enable all available layers, and choose the basic style from the available templates. The style definition is generated automatically. I can edit it directly in the interface to change the appearance of the basemap. Everything is ready, so I click Save. The new service is now available. From the service configuration page, I can manage access permissions or create a seeding task to pre-render and cache tiles for a selected territory and range of zoom levels. When I return to the dashboard and open the service, I can see three available endpoints: raster tiles, vector tiles, and the vector tile style. The URLs already include the current user's API key. First, I copy the raster tile URL and add it to QGIS. The raster basemap is now available and working. Next, I copy the vector tile URL and add it to QGIS as well. This gives me a working vector basemap whose symbology can be modified directly in the client application. Now let us return to NextGIS GeoServices and explore another service type, external service. This option allows you to cache an external tile service on your own server. The cached tiles can then remain available even if access to the original service is interrupted. I create another service in our group and select External Service as its type. I define the required territory and zoom levels and then enter the source tile URL. For this example, I will use the standard OpenStreetMap tile service. I also specify the coordinate reference system. Once the service has been created, it becomes available through a new tile endpoint. I can create a seeding task to cache the required tiles and make them available independently. External services should be used responsibly. When caching third-party tiles, always follow the provider's terms of use and avoid placing an excessive load on the original service. I copy the new endpoint and add it to QGIS. The external tile service is now available through the NextGIS GeoServices proxy. Let us return to the dashboard and create a third type of service, a service based on NextGIS Web. A particular NextGIS Web instance is configured during the deployment of NextGIS GeoServices. We can connect to this instance and select any web map that has already been created and configured in NextGIS Web. Let me switch to the NextGIS Web interface. Here, I have a demonstration project showing ambulance availability in Graz, Austria. The web map includes several layers styled using QGIS symbology. I want to publish this map as a basemap through NextGIS GeoServices. I return to NextGIS GeoServices, select the required web map, configure the basic parameters, and create the service. The map is now available through a tile endpoint. As with the other service types, I can configure permissions and create a tile cache. Let us quickly test the new service in QGIS. It works perfectly. Now let us return to NextGIS GeoServices and explore the final available service type, tileset from file. If you already have a folder containing pre-rendered tiles or an MB tiles file, you can quickly upload and publish it as a service. For this example, I will use a pre-rendered tileset for Estonia ordered from data.nextgis.com. The tiles are provided as a zip archive containing PNG files. The tiles are now published. I can configure access permissions and use the service in external applications. I copy the endpoint and add it to QGIS. Everything works as expected. NextGIS GeoServices also includes an advanced permission management system. You can create users and user groups and issue separate API keys for individual users and applications. Each API key can be restricted by expiration time, geographic area, zoom levels, and allowed origins. This gives you the flexibility to publish multiple services securely and provide different levels of access to different teams, clients, and applications. To deploy NextGIS GeoServices on your own server, review the available pricing options and contact us. Take your basemaps under full control.